Good morning. Cold, crisp Saturday morning. But it's good to be outside. As always, I have my coffee. Black, of course. And that is my decaf maple caramel macchiato. Today I'm going to take a trip down to the Java Junkie. See what others they have, so I can try them. So I want to thank all the new subscribers this past week. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you subscribing. If you like what you see, the content, hit the bell below, and it'll alert you every time a new video drops. One of the things I wanted to ask you was, what kind of content would you like to see? One of the things I like to talk about is my first love career, so to be, as to speak, was being an emergency medical technician, an EMT. And a lot of people through the years said you should write a book about some of the stories, some of the things you've seen, and you can do that. You just can't name names. You have to be very anonymous about stuff. I'm not a writer. Don't have a desire to write. So I thought every now and then I'll incorporate a story in, which today I'm going to do. But if you have suggestions for content, things you'd like to see, coffee, cooking, within reason, or you have questions, drop a comment in the link in the below the description. Let me know. See if I can accommodate. So. I don't normally wear glasses, but I have to wear them to see up close. So it's one of the things unfortunately, that's what happens to you when you get older. So, but it is a beautiful day. As you can see, got the Christmas decorations up. Did a whole bunch of things yesterday. I think tomorrow I'm going to bake some desserts. Yes. Bake. It's not just a woman that should bake and cook. A man should know how to cook and he should know how to bake. Because what if he's not married? What if he doesn't have that significant other? Got to eat somehow. And I make simple foods. I don't make the, dash of this, dash of that, 20 different ingredients. I don't eat for taste. I eat to fuel. So when I cook, I want to cook something that's going to be quick, easy, simple. Get it on a plate, get it in my stomach. That's the way I cook. It's great to taste your food and have that fancy schmancy dish every now and then, but you don't need to do that every time. So, but Thanksgiving was good. Got to see family. Got to see my grandson. You can hear the dogs barking. Somebody walks by, the dogs bark. When a dog goes by, or the mail truck, or FedEx, or UPS, or one of those type of trucks, oh man, they go nuts. So, how I became an EMT, it was the early 90s. I think it was 1991. I was a volunteer at the fire department. And out back of the fire department was an apartment complex. And we heard the ambulance and the medics being dispatched for possible cardiac arrest. Being a young fool, me and my buddy grabbed the medical bag and we ran over to the place. Thought we'll render assistance, as quick as we can, because in cardiac arrest, it's moments matter, So we get over there and ring the doorbell, identify ourselves. They let us in. Grandma was back in the bedroom. So I said, how long has it been since you've seen her last? 4 to 5 minutes. That's how she said, 4 to 5 minutes. So I said, okay. So we start doing CPR. I didn't have a bag valve mask. So I said, I'm pumping, you're blowing, buddy. So we started doing CPR on her. And crew comes in, slap the monitor on her. And the guy who later became a good friend of mine, hey. He says, stop. So he said, she's been gone too long. I was like, what? My buddy had this look of dread on his, because he's doing mouth to mouth. And I'm doing chest compressions. And he said, she's been gone too long. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, they hadn't seen her in like 45 minutes. It's way too long. And I just went, oh my gosh. She said 4 to 5. He said, no, 45. When she said it, she said 4 to 5. 4 to 5. 4 to 5 is how she said it. I was like, devastated. So that's what prompted me to go to school for emergency medical technician. That and the show Emergency with Johnny and Roy when I was growing up as a kid. I used to idolize those guys. So when I was fairly new in my career, one of my mentor, my instructor, got me a job where he worked. I won't name this place yet because I don't know if I can. Anyhow, we were partners on crew one day, and we get a call for a fall victim, late 20s. You don't think nothing of it, but you're taught to situational awareness, take in the whole picture, don't rush in, think about the big picture. There's a lot of dynamics, a lot of things that can be going on around that you don't know, that you only get so much information over the radio. So we get there, I grab the first in bag, which has oxygen tank, non-rebreathers, nasal cannulas, blood pressure cuff, bandages, stuff like the basics. I go in the door, husband meets us at the door, and my partner says, hey, I'm going to go back and I'll just get the stretcher out a while. So I go in, and there's a woman laying on the kitchen floor, and I lean in, get down on my knees, hi, I'm John, and can you tell me what happened today? And she's just staring off. And I said, ma'am, are you with me? Do you know what day it is? And she just snaps out of it and just screams, he hit me. And chill went up my spine because he was behind me. And there was a kitchen island countertop with a knife set sitting on it. I quickly grabbed the oxygen tank. It has a handle on it to plug in the nasal cannula or the non-rebreather. I quickly grabbed the oxygen tank, stood up, pointed at the man, and said, if you move, I will knock your bleepity bleep head off. Back away. My partner comes in, and I said, get PD on a radio, get them here now. And I wouldn't touch the lady until police arrived. And I said to my partner, this is a domestic abuse. This is domestic assault. So my partner and I stood posturing our ground and waited for police. The guy didn't threaten us. He was real calm. He just didn't say anything. He wasn't going to threaten us. But I darn near pooped my pants on that call. And it taught me a valuable lesson that day, because we talked about it afterwards. My partner and I that day, and he asked me what I did wrong, what I could have done better. We always do. You always do that. You reevaluate, you revisit the call and see, because you want to get better, you want to improve. And one of the things I learned was situational awareness, and always gathering as much information as you can prior to. Now, in any situation like that, as you know, one of the, if not the number one killer of police officers in the field is domestic violence calls. So imagine this as an EMT. You go and you don't know it's a domestic violence call, probably because the husband called 911, not the wife, and he didn't say anything about it, so it wasn't dispatch's fault for something like that. But gathering more information in that situation, could we have done better? A little bit different. I don't know. The husband didn't tell dispatch. He sure wasn't going to tell us. The one thing I would have changed out of that, and I said to my partner, is that we walk in together. Never again will I enter a home alone when I'm uneasy about the situation or got some questionable things. So it's just one of the stories from the bus. We call it the bus. Some of the most memorable times in my life, the greatest career anyone could have. I loved that career. Great friendships, great memories, bonding. There's a bonding amongst EMS staff that is unlike any other. Seen a lot of heartache, but seen a lot of good things come out. But the very self-rewarding, is a very thankless job, but the self-rewarding part of it is knowing that you help somebody every day when you went to work. You help people, multiple people throughout the day. I just love that job. So if you'd like to hear more stories like that, just hit like, drop a comment, and I'll share some more stories of my days on the ambulance. Some of my fondest memories. Really grew up. I realized real quick, life ain't fair. Rule number 1, people die. Rule number 2, there's nothing you can do about rule number 1. Just happens. But did a lot of growing up. Young man, early 20s when I started, but wouldn't trade those times for nothing. A lot of great shifts at work. A lot of great people I worked with. Some of them are no longer around, no longer with us, unfortunately, sadly. Same as any other, as police and military and fire. There's a high alcoholic rate, high divorce rate, suicide rate. It's sad, but I survived, and I'll tell you about that another time. So, thanks for listening to my story. I enjoy sharing them. I'll have some funny ones down the road. Hope you all have a great weekend, and get your holiday season started. And I'll see you on the next one. God loves you. I love you. God bless. Light 'em up.